the people that I do come in contact with, when it's in the first stages of trying to get better of something that's killing you, what do we mainly do at night? What do we do? Because, I mean, if we're struggling and it's beat the shit out of us, whatever it is, we're going to watch TV. And that's like the complete opposite of what we should be doing. And I'm telling you, out of my experience, many detoxes and rehabs and ERs and all that shit, and every last one of them was TV, all of them. So I'm still watching commercials, marinating myself with negative vibrations. You know, those vibrations coming from the TV, it's not meant to help me. It's meant to mess with my endorphins within my head. It wants me to buy stuff. It wants me to partake in certain restaurants and get all these drinks that they're pushing, the colorful stuff. So it's still stimulating my brain. I'm wanting to get better, but I'm watching something that's stimulating my brain in every kind of way. Video games, movies, scenes within movies. You know, people don't realize that the images that we have put within our subconscious with whatever substance it is that's destroying us, there has to be a time frame that we have to alleviate that for some time and not water that. And then eventually in time, introduce that back to the brain, to the subconscious, and to take power over that triggers us. That's what we have to do. You got to read, you know, and that's what I tell them. And it's just like, I can't, it's just boring. And it's like, but you've been made to feel like it's boring. You know, if you don't like reading, I tell you what, you have to find something within your childhood that brought you joy. You know, be a child again. You're trying to get better. You're always being a child in the eyes of a God or a creator. So won't you be a child again and screw everybody else? This is about you. But going into this, you know, I have to look at the contributing factors too, the medications. I'm against them, and y'all know I am. But I still deal with people on the medications, and that's fine. But it's something you can't stay on. That's a substance that's straight to the brain. That's a chemical. It's a mood-altering substance is what it is. And it is. And the vibrations that come off an unnatural substance that's introduced into an anatomy that a God or your creator created, it's not natural. So, of course, it's going to mess with your thinking. Oh, well, but it's for addicts. And it's like, that's what they say. But I'm telling you, it's not, because my experience, I've got over 5 years without any medications. I ain't even been sick, no flu, nothing. You know, it's just doing what we're supposed to do. But we don't know that because, you know, I just wanted to not drink, and then this whole thing brought about a whole, I can't explain what has happened. But those of us that have been down that dark path, it was for a reason. And it's up to us to find out why. Why did we go through that? Why can't we stop doing this? You know, but once we stop, we have to start putting something positive into our temple up here to compensate for all that negative. We can't just stop doing a substance and then keep introducing negative vibrations into the brain. We can't do it. That's why a lot of us, we can't get it. The antidepressants don't work. None of it works because it's the vibrations sending off are meant to be negative and to mess with our thinking. That's why you still can't think straight. It took me, you know, months to be able to write well again, but I still shook a little bit, even years after. My thinking, I mean, I damaged the brain for decades with major alcohol abuse. A lot of drugs earlier, but major alcohol. And it does come back. It all comes back. But you've got to identify everything going in. Even the foods that we eat. You know, in the detoxes and rehabs, they want you to fatten up, you know, because a lot of us are malnourished, and we do. But we overindulge, so now we're gluttonous. So we've replaced one for the other, and eventually a lot of us get lazy. But then if we get lazy, the more overweight we are, it messes with our thinking. And it does. You know, nobody wants to hear that, but I was overweight. A lot of people have been overweight that I know, and once you do lose that weight, you know, it's an emotion, but it's not just that, it's a state of mind of like, damn. You know, because we weren't designed to depend on chemicals to keep us alive, and to be overweight, and to be obese, and to be alcoholic, and to be addicted to pills, and to sugars, and to lottery, and to everything else, porn. That's a major factor right there, porn. That destroys more relationships than anything. I've seen it. I've worked with them firsthand. But my big suggestion is get into something that you haven't done in a long time that keeps you busy. Sitting around watching the TV is not going to help you. It is going to hurt you. I know from experience. Your thinking will never get better. You'll always have fantasy land within your head saying, you know what? Maybe I can get there one day. And it's like, let me tell you something. We will never be like those people on TV, because they're all actors. Even the ones that think they're doing something, they're not. They're being used, for an agenda. And it is. And it's to sway your thinking, just like alcohol and all that other shit sways your thinking. You can't think. You can't make logical decisions. And we can't. We can't even get off of the shit that is legal here in America. And it's perfectly normal, and then children get raised in a illegal drinking alcohol environment, and then they think it's okay. And do you see how it all happens? It just filters, shit floats downhill, and it affects everybody. And it does. But my whole deal is,